something happening, something going on. There's always something happening, something going on. At Thruway Mall, we've got it all.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Urbex and the Shenango Valley Mall in Hermitage, Pennsylvania. I have previously visited this mall and I made a video on it going over its history, so if you'd like to see that, you can check it out in the Urbex playlist. On today's episode, we'll be taking a final walkthrough of the Shenango Valley Mall, as well as taking a look at the closing JCPenney. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this mall and haven't seen my previous video, this is a very bland and boring mall with a hidden wing that will just blow you away. You won't want to miss it. If you're unfamiliar with Hermitage, Pennsylvania, it's part of the Sharon, Pennsylvania area. It's got around 30,000 or so people in the metro area, if you can even call it a metro area. It's really not that far from Pittsburgh or the Northeast Ohio mega region. So it's kind of strange that this mall even exists. Although, back in the day, everywhere had a mall, even tiny little towns. So this mall probably is the only mall within about an hour's drive, because it's probably about an hour to get to the nearest mall in Pittsburgh and the nearest mall over in Ohio. And as you can see, there is just not a whole lot left in this mall. It's very bland and boring. That JCPenney, that is the final anchor, and from what I understand, it'll be permanently closing in May of 2024. Now, there is talk that once the JCPenney closes and this mall becomes anchorless, that it will be redeveloped. Into what? I'm not sure. More than likely something stupid that doesn't really benefit the community as a whole. Like a warehouse or business park or something along those lines, because doesn't every mall just turn into that? Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised that once the Penny closes that this place just sharply and drastically goes downhill. I mean, it's already just about at rock bottom, so where is there to go from here other than to just demolish the place or repurpose it into something else? All right, are you ready for a time warp? Well, jump inside your DeLorean and prepare to hit 88 miles per hour because we're going back to the year 1970. You know, I bet a lot of people don't even realize that there's this extra secret wing down here because it's just such a random hallway that just sort of leads to nothing. But you know, I'm so glad that I discovered it because it's the coolest thing ever. Just wait until you see this piece of the mall, and I would imagine that the entire mall at one time probably looked like this section, and I'm so sad that they updated the rest of them. It would have been cool if they had kept the entire mall like this, but I understand why over the years, they renovated and updated things to try and attract, a more modern customer base. Because if I'm honest, the amount of people that just are blown away by old nostalgia like this is probably, a small sliver of the market, and most people would be like, ew, why don't they update the place? And I'm just the weirdo that loves everything being frozen in time. Leave a comment down below and let me know when was the last time you visited a mall that looked like this, and what mall was it? I know this is going to sound weird, but I was really wishing that there was some type of a food establishment in this wing. Even if it was like a fast food, takeout counter type thing, I could imagine myself just sort of sitting here and being surrounded by this awesome time capsule. That would have been amazing. I did spend probably a lot more time in this area than, I should have. But it was just so amazing, and like, when am I going to see this again? So being that this wing is completely abandoned, I mean, there's no stores in it, what stores would you like to see in it? Or eating establishments, or, whatever. What would you like done with this section? I want to thank you for traveling back in time to the year 1970 in this amazing time warp of a mall wing. Like, wow. But we're going to head on out of this section now and check out the closing JCPenney, because I have quite a lot to say about that store. Oh boy, here we go, closing JCPenney. My first thought was, oh, this is the worst JCPenney I've ever been inside of. And the further and deeper I got into the store, it just cemented that feeling really rock solid. I mean, I was just like, the store just is old and tired, and the products and the merchandise wasn't really all that great, and it was a fairly small store too. And also my initial thought was, how did this store hang on for so long? And then I realized, well, this is probably all they have for quite a ways. I mean, other than Walmart, and who wants to shop at Walmart nowadays? I think I'd rather shop at this Penneys. As sad as it is, I'd rather shop here than the Walmart. So I'm sure it's no surprise I didn't buy anything from this store's closing sale. I mean, I did look at a few things that I thought maybe my mom would be interested in, but even then I was like, if it's clothing, I'm not going to get that for her because that's kind of a personal thing. I did look through the jewelry, and they had a couple of things that were on sale that I was like, maybe, but, at the time I was low on budget, so, just that time of the month where all the bills come and all the money goes, and you're just like, well, I can't spare a few dollars. So I kind of wonder what they were doing with all of it looked like they were doing construction in this store, and I was just like, why? It's a closing store. I don't know. Maybe they had plans to renovate the place or update it or something, and then they just halted it. I don't know. So I'm going to leave you here to enjoy the rest of the JCPenney, as well as an awesome vintage 1970s elevator as we take a ride up to the second level. thanks for taking a final walk through the Shenango Valley Mall and a final walk through this closing JCPenney with me. If you like this kind of content and want more, you can check out both of my channel memberships. There's the Patreon one or the YouTube membership. Links are in the description box below and on screen. I want to give a big shout out to my channel members because you're what make these videos possible. As always, I want to thank you for supporting the future of video and another awesome episode of Urbex. And I'll see you on the next episode.